Lil Peep currently on a tour bus somewhere between Atlanta and New Orleans right now on tour. We catch up with him here at Beats One. You know, the project's inside Apple Music. We're thrashing it on the station. We're catching up with him for the first time on FaceTime video. So, bro, what's going on, man? How are you feeling right now?
Feeling good. Just got to New Orleans. Just bought some amber rings. And I'm feeling good. I'm ready to be here.
How the crowd's been, man? I mean, your music is connecting every single second. It feels like it's getting more and more visceral for you. But just describe what you see from the stage.
A bunch of crazy, sweaty teenagers going insane and causing each other pain.
Was this always the plan when you started making your own music, was to reach out to an audience like this? I mean, did you realize what you had in your hand when you started making music? Did you feel like you were part of something?
Yeah, I mean, I always knew that it was going to be successful. I guess I'm very confident with what I do because I feel that there's so many people doing it successfully that are so terrible at what they do that I could just easily just take their spot because they're so trash.
Right. So who do you rate then? Rather than get swept up in the trolling side of things, let's keep it positive and inspiring. I believe that's what's going to get us through this era. So who do you actually like?
Man, I like everybody. I just think that some people aren't good at making music, but I like everybody. Everybody's great.
Who's your favorite though, man?
My favorite, probably just my friends. Bass God, Lil Peep, Makonnen, definitely. I don't know. I don't really listen to. I don't really follow music as it comes out. I more like to just stick to the classics, like my old favorite Brick Squad takes from back in the day and Red Hot Chili Peppers albums and stuff like that. And don't really follow whatever's going on in the rap game, if that's what you want to call it.
I mean, it's funny, you know, because obviously I think that people consider you to be a part of that game, but equally you're taking inspiration from other things and you've got deep taste in rock and roll as well. You know, can we talk a little bit about that side of things as well and what kind of rock and roll artists really influenced you to bring this kind of tone to your music?
Yeah, some of my favorite bands say that I think Brand New, Green Day, Good Charlotte, My Chemical Romance, Panic! Disco, Taking Back Sunday, stuff like that. So that's where I get the inspiration behind a lot of my melodies. Songwriting definitely is a big thing to me that I think separates me from a lot of other artists of my generation right now because I base my songwriting kind of off those old bands, like their pattern and style of songwriting. Less rap than it is, you know, alternative rock lyrics.
I mean, I know that, you know, you've talked about collaborating with Makonnen. That's a thing that's done?
Yeah, we have an album together. It's incredible. It's the best album of the 21st century.
I mean, I can't wait to hear that because I think Makonnen's a super fascinating and actually really underrated artist when it comes to influence. What is it that you like about him? A few words that you can share about what you love about Makonnen and why the chemistry is real.
He is, he's insanely talented. His voice is amazing. He's a very genuine person who I get along with on a lot of different levels. We're like best friends, so it's really easy for us to make music together. He has been my favorite hip-hop artist since way before I started making music. It was one of my dreams to ever meet Makonnen, and we got an album together.
That's crazy, man. I mean, what an experience for you to be in that situation, to meet somebody like that who you've been a fan of and actually be able to say you have creative juice now.
Yeah. He's just a trippy guy because he just trips on LSD and then freestyles everything. He doesn't write any music. It's like the most incredible thing to like watch. He hasn't written any songs, like he just freestyles all of them. They're all just right off the top of his head.
If you're in a place where you're teaming up with Makonnen now and you've got an opportunity to collaborate with people, have you been in the studio working with other people?
I will in the future, but I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of artists, but I really am not into the whole like climbing the ladder of the industry thing with the features, how people do that. So if I don't know you, I don't really care. If I don't really know you or listen to your music too much, I'm not gonna just collaborate with you to gain some fans or just get some popularity, because I think music's too precious to be doing that with. But yeah, there's a lot of people in the future I'll be collaborating with after Makonnen. I just got to get this out of the way. We've recorded probably over 20 songs and we're still recording.
So Come Over When You're Sober 2 is done?
Yeah, Come Over When You're Sober 2 is done. Also, I have another project called Goth Angel Center coming out soon, Gas, short. I got an album with Makonnen and more touring. So we're just working.
You're very on the front line right now. You can meet anybody you want in terms of your audience. I'm sure you do. What are they saying to you, and how is their music affecting them?
They tell me all the time that it helps them stay alive and keeps them from committing suicide and stuff like that. And a lot of them I've seen like countless hundreds of Lil Peep tattoos on people. So these people are really dedicated and like devoted like pretty much their lives to my music, and it's pretty crazy and it blows my mind, but I love it. It's a great thing, and if it's helping people, then that's why I'm doing it.
Is there a part of you that remains guarded or trying to protect yourself somewhat because you had to make this music? It wasn't like you were searching for this attention, and yet this attention is forthcoming because the music had to be made. You know what I mean? One thing informs the other. So are you sort of like approaching it with some degree of protectiveness for yourself?
I guess. In some ways. Mostly I just go in there sometimes, and I don't really remember a lot of my sessions. Not ever sober when I record my music.
Why is that?
I don't know. I'm rarely sober. I don't know. Just because it kind of brings the raw emotion out of me and lets me, and I'll wake up the next day and literally like I won't even remember what I did in the studio, but I know I did something good. And then I'll listen to it and I'll be like, yeah, this is really dope.
That must make performing it really a very interesting experience, because when it's time to actually play the song, you don't really recall writing or recording, but actually you have to put yourself in a place where you have to learn it, and you're not in that moment anymore. That must be like breaking the wall.
No, dude, I know all my music. I'm really crazy with lyrics, so people get shocked with me. I could listen to a song 2 times and learn all the lyrics to it. I know the lyrics to more songs than most people on earth. That's a fact. I learn my own lyrics really, really quick. So I could do all my songs a cappella pretty much. It's not something that's hard to forget.
You know, one of the things that really comes through in your music, man, is that you're open through your lyrics and through your music in terms of your relationship with anxiety, and of course the byproducts of things like that, like depression and such. And this is a very important subject now, because more than ever we're seeing, you know, kids and young people really suffering through this. This is now an established part of life. How is your relationship with that right now? Now you're actually out on the road, keeping yourself busy, touring, making music. Is it still a struggle for you to stay centered and stay, you know, in that situation?
Yeah, definitely, man. If anything, things have gotten worse, probably.
Because of the traveling and the touring and the pressure?
Yeah, things just get worse. The anxiety just gets worse and worse and worse every day. But it's just something you gotta deal with. That's just something that some people have, and they have to deal with, and they cope with it in different ways. Surround yourself with good people and just get through it.
Yeah, and music must make a huge difference to that, the ability to be able to express yourself regularly.
It does. Music and getting tattoos is my therapy, my form of therapy.
How long has the tour got left, man? I mean, we're drawing to the end of the year. How many more dates in America have you got?
I think I've got like 2 more weeks. I've been doing it for like 2 months now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted to reach out first and foremost to say what's up and say that, you know, we are completely connected to what you're trying to do musically, and looking forward to everything and anything that comes our way from you. And at some point when you roll through California, as and when the time's right, man, we'd love to sit face to face and get the story in more detail if you're willing and open to talk about it. I think it would be helpful to your fans and to others to hear your story, because I think it's fascinating, bro.
Of course, I would love to do that, and I'd love to share more. I got a lot more to share.
All right, man. Listen, safe travels, and enjoy watching Interview with the Vampire, one of the greatest fucking movies of all time as well, by the way.
I will. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
All right, Pete. Later.
All right.